Good morning. Happy Monday. This week, I want y'all to hold me accountable. This week, I am not staying late. This is the start of, I'm getting serious. I want to be out of here by 4:30 every day. So, ow, I totally just scratched myself so bad. I do have some detentions serving today and this week after school, so that's why I'm saying 4:30. But honestly, I'm not staying here till 5:30 every day anymore. It's ridiculous. The only day that I'm staying until 5 is on Wednesdays because that is my designated tutorial day. So I would like to be here from 7:30 to 4:30 because that is, that's 9 hours. But that's 9 hours. Why did I think, okay, and I only get a half hour for lunch. So I'm working more than 40 hours. Ugh. Okay, anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm being dramatic. But this week, I'm serious. I want to be out of here at a reasonable time because I realized that I just have no time when I get home to do anything. I have energy, thankfully. Like, I'm not just dead on my feet by the time I go home, but I do want to be, like, I just want to have time to do things when I go home. Isn't that crazy? So this week is homecoming week. Today is wear your grade level colors. So freshmen are white, so I'm wearing my white. I have a lot to do today because I'm actually going to be missing half a day tomorrow. So I need to finalize my sub plans and all of that stuff and just make sure that I am ready to go. And then tomorrow I will get here at lunch. So I'll have my last period and my conference tomorrow. Then on Thursday, I have an ARD during my conference. So that's going to eat into my conference time a little bit, but I am still pretty confident that I can get everything done that I need to get done in an appropriate amount of time and not stay here until 5:30 every day. However, there's always a but, right? However, we are starting like actual algebra now, finally, and I've never taught that before, obviously. So it is taking me a little bit more time to internalize the lessons and just process how I'm going to teach it, what I'm teaching, different strategies and things like that. Up to this point, we've only been teaching things that I've already taught or things that are very similar to things that I've already taught. So I've felt pretty confident going into each lesson, but now we're moving on to functions, which is not difficult. But, teachers, like knowing how to do something and knowing how to teach something are very different things. So I know how to do this. I love algebra, but I've never taught it before. So I'm working very closely with my team on teaching strategies. They're willing to model certain lessons for me and just making sure that I know what I'm doing and I'm not having to spend a lot of time outside of work prepping and planning for it. So it is 7:40. I'm going to get all of this stuff ready to go, like I said, and I will check in with you guys hopefully at lunch, but I don't have a great track record for checking in at lunch, so it might be during my conference. Who knows? It's now my conference, and today, during my conference, I really want to get done with my grading and finalize my sub-plans for tomorrow. So in a little bit, I will try to remember to walk you through what my sub-plans look like and kind of like what I leave for the kids and stuff like that. Today was fine. My throat hurts so bad, and I don't know why. Like, I can't tell if it feels like I'm starting to get sick maybe, or if it's allergies. I know the weather changed today. Like, it was actually pretty cool outside today, hence my sweatshirt. So I don't know what's going on, or if it's just from like talking too much, because I did a lot of talking today because I'm gonna be gone tomorrow. So I kind of did like a lesson and a half today, so I was talking more than normal, but it hurt so bad. So I'm going to try and get as much of this grading done as possible. It really shouldn't take me that long. And then finalize my sub plans. And then if I have time after that, what do I want to do after that? Just clean up, because this place is a mess. There's also a few things new about my classroom that I want to show you, but I might not get to today. Just depends on how much time this all takes. Okay, my tutorials in detention just ended. It's 4:42. Already breaking my rule. So I'm not going to show you guys all the stuff that I said I was going to show you just because I'm out of time, but I am going to show you what I'm leaving for the sub. So we started a new unit today, which is like the worst possible time to be absent because I can't really give them work that's like applicable. So what I did is I looked through all of the worksheets that I had printed and not gotten to in Unit 1, and I'm making a packet for my students. So we just started functions, so I do have one function maze for them to do, and I have just like an evaluate function worksheet that's pretty simple, just to kind of cement what they learned yesterday. I have this literal equation example. This should literally take them, I don't know, 2 minutes if they're serious about it. And then I have this evaluating expressions Mad Lib and 2-step equations. So it's a lot. 2 of my students just came back because they both left things in my room, so I had to deal with that. But like I was saying, a good student would be done with this packet in half the class. It's not actual hard work. However, one, I know my kids. They're not going to do it. 2, I know my kids. They're just not going to do it. And they never work when there's a sub. So I'm leaving this big monstrous packet to intimidate them because I told them I was going to be grading one assignment, but I didn't tell them which one. And I'm going to tell y'all, I am grading this one. It is the very middle. And this, because this is literal equations and they really struggled with that. I just grade for completion always, because most of the things that I grade, it's them practicing a skill, so I don't want to penalize them for making mistakes in the learning process. So I just take completion grades. The only time I grade for accuracy is on quizzes and tests, or if it's like something super easy, super quick, I might grade for accuracy, but most of the time it's just completion grades. And I would have had the copier staple all these together, but I had already made all of these copies, so I'm having to staple them by hand. So I'm probably not going to leave here till 5, which sucks. I still need to print my rosters, and I already printed my seating chart, so I need to print my roster and my sub plans that I already have typed up, that basically just have, I think my sub plans are just like, thank you for covering my classes, and then it breaks down what time class starts, that they should be doing their warm-up on their Chromebook for the first like 15 minutes of class, which is what we do every single day, so it's routine at this point, where it should be. And then basically hand out the packet after that and let them work. And then when to start cleaning up and dismiss. So nothing crazy on these sub plans, but we do have sub binders that our school made us use, and mine is already prepped and done, thankfully. So I don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to print all of that stuff and put it in the sub binder, clean up my desk, basically just shove everything in the cabinet and get out of here. There's just a lot of work to do. And there's always a lot of work to do, and that's just the way it is. But they actually did pretty well today, content-wise. Like I said, we started functions, and so that's function notation, evaluating functions, and determining if an equation, or determining if a relation is a function or not. My throat hurts so bad. I already said that, but like I feel it in like the roof of my mouth and like in my nose. So it definitely feels like a sinus thing. And so many of my kids are getting sick or they have allergies, but we just had sneezing and coughing in all of my classes. And so now I'm scared that I'm sick. Hopefully not, but guess we'll find out tomorrow. Hello, I won't say good morning because it is like 12:30. So I've just been go, go, go today. Like I said, I had my doctor's appointment today, but last night, well, not last night, yesterday afternoon, we went and got a gym membership at a new gym because we moved, so we needed to find a new gym. So this morning I got up and did a workout before I went to the doctor. And then I did a few things around the house. I'm getting sick. My husband's getting sick. I can just feel it. My body feels weird. My nose is stuffy. My throat hurts. But I don't think I'm gonna get like actually sick. I think it's just like the change of the season sinus crud. So that's awesome. I'm technically not supposed to be back until 1. But I decided to get here a little bit early because I want to go check with the office and see if I need to check, like, if I need to sign in or anything, because I'm not really sure the protocol here for, like, leaving early or coming in late or whatever. So I'm going to go in and do that, and then lunch starts in 10 minutes. So I'm going to wait for that and then go into my room and just spend lunch kind of looking over any notes that the sub left, looking at all the work that they did, the kids did, and get ready for my one period of the day. So I should be able to leave at 4:30 today, but we'll see. Hello, it's 3:50. Apparently my classes were terrible today, which I expected, but when I got here, the sub was still in the room kind of cleaning up, so I asked her how it went, and she said, "God bless you. I am so sorry that you have to deal with that." And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "The kids told me that they were acting better than they normally do. And if that's the case, that's shameful, like to the students." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a tough class," because she had my second and third period, which are my harder to manage classes. And apparently it took 2 APs and another disciplinary person. I think he might be in charge of ISS. It took all 3 of them coming in at different times throughout the classes to settle them down and get them to work. And I haven't even gone through their work yet. I assume it's mostly blank. I will let you guys know when I go through it. And then the disciplinarian that had come in came to see me just a few minutes ago, and he was like, "Hey, so just so you know, like, if you're having issues, call me and I will come take care of it. Like, you should not be putting up with behaviors like that. Like, we are on your side. We are here to support you." So that felt really good. I have a problem calling or like elevating it to the admin level because I want to be able to take care of my problems in-house. Like, I want to be able to take care of it myself, but I understand that it has gotten to a point where it's not manageable. So it was also just very validating to hear that other people, like someone else who has experience teaching, also struggled to manage my classes. So I am going to kick it up a notch in terms of classroom management and really just bring down the hammer and not be afraid to call and have a student removed if they are not acting right, because I think that's the problem is I can manage them to a certain degree, but I don't always follow through on my threats, and they've picked up on it. And it's something that I've been working on literally since day 1 of my first year teaching, and I'm now on year 3. So I hate disciplining students, even though they need it. It's just so much work for me. I don't know. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of show you guys how I plan for the week, because that's what I'm doing right now. Yes, it's Tuesday. I should already be planned for this week, but I'm not, and that's just the way it is. So let me show you the state of my desk. All of these papers are papers for the week. So the way that my team plans is we have this Google Sheet that has each week planned, and everyone's responsible for a different day, and there's links to all of the stuff that we're doing, whether it be foldables or activities or online resources, like digital resources, it's all there. So what I do is I go through it and basically look through everything and see what I want to use and don't want to use. So for example, this week, I think I mentioned in my last video that we had changed the way that we were teaching this week, which is why I'm not prepped, because we changed everything and I didn't have a chance to take care of it. I like using this big long table to kind of separate everything into days. So this is what we're doing tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. And then I also have this planner that I use to help me like visually see what I'm doing each day. So I just write down the names of the assignments so I know. And then immediately after doing that, I make my slides. So my slides often include screenshots of the actual assignment so I can do it along with them on the board. And I'll embed timers if I need to, stuff like that. So I definitely want to do an entire video dedicated just to how I plan. I hope that y'all will be interested in that. I know some people have been asking for it. So if you would like to see that, let me know in the comments. And maybe just some specifics of what you want to see. But I would love to share how I plan in depth. All right, it is 3:55. I have 5 minutes until the end of the day. I think I'm going to have a few students stop by for some tutorials. And I'm going to organize this. I'm going to focus on grading tests tomorrow. I'm not even going to deal with that today. Today I'm just going to look through everything that they did with the sub. And I have the rest of this week planned. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Finish my slides. Then, if I have time, I'm going to look through what my students did with the sub today, and then I'll go home. Yay, sounds like a plan. Okay, it's 4:40. My tutorials ended about 5 minutes ago. I let them stay just a tad bit late because they were actually working really, really hard. I only had 3 students show up. 2 of them are making up quizzes that they were absent for, and one of them was just working on some missing assignments, and it was so rewarding because I was doing literal equations with him, which is the subject or the topic that my classes have been struggling with the most. And I got out, well, I want to say manipulatives. It was just pencil sharpeners, like the little pencil sharpeners, and they were a bunch of different colors, and I physically like showed him concrete what it looks like. And I was like, okay, now, so we had like a purple and a green stuck together, and I was like, that's K times N. And then we had 4 yellows stuck together, and I was like, that's 4F. And then we had a glue stick, which represented 9V. And I was like, I don't have 9. I'm not gonna get out 9 glue sticks. Just know it's 9 glue sticks. How would we get this one green pencil sharpener by itself? And he was able to say, oh, well, you would subtract and then you divide. So, oh, it makes me so happy when they get it, you know? I went through all of the assignments that they did today, all the packets, and it doesn't look good. Basically, the way I graded it was you get 100 or a 0. So instead of grading the literal equations paper like I said I was going to, I realized that that probably was too challenging for them without any assistance from me whatsoever, because the sub didn't know how to do math, so she couldn't help them. So basically what I did is I'm judging each kid based on what I think they should have been able to get done in class time. So for some students, if they finished the first 2 worksheets, that was 100. For other students, they finished 4 of the worksheets, that was 100. You know what I mean? Like, just based on what I know they're capable of. For some of them, they did several pages but showed no work. 0. So just things like that. Like, I know the kids, I think that is equitable, fair grading to grade them that way. And I'm also going to give them a chance to keep working on it and turn it in later for a higher grade. But I'm tired of allowing them to turn in assignments weeks after they're due, because that totally destroys the sense of urgency and it's more work for me. So basically what I'm saying is everything has to be turned in the week that it was assigned. So if I assign something on a Monday, it's due on Friday. If I assign something on a Thursday, it's due the next day. If I assign something on a Friday, you have to get it done that day. So I think that's just gonna help with the amount of late assignments that I'm receiving, and I also want assignments to be done when I assign them. So I'm definitely going to crack down on my students tomorrow. Tomorrow, they're getting Drill Sergeant Miss Adams. Drill Sergeant Adams. I'm headed out of here. It is 4:45, which honestly, knowing that I was gonna have to deal with a lot of stuff from the sub today, I had mentally told myself it'd be 4:45. Tomorrow it'll be 5. Thursday, Friday, I really want to leave at 4:30. I know I probably sound like a broken record to you guys, but I really am trying to get on top of it and prevent burnout in advance. Like, be proactive, is that what it's called? I want to be proactive in avoiding burnout, because I feel fine now, but come October, November, if I am still doing this the way I'm doing it, I am going to be drained. And I'm just gonna be so burnt out. So trying to be proactive and avoid that. The other part of my planning is I actually physically work every single assignment that I give them, because one, I wanna make sure that it's the correct material. I wanna make sure that there's nothing in there that's gonna throw them off, because sometimes I'll assign something and there will be like a random question there that I didn't cover, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't teach you guys that. So I like to be prepared for that, so I can say when I give them the assignment, hey, skip number 6, because that is not what we're talking about. And also I want to be able to estimate how long certain things are going to take. So based on how long it takes me, I can kind of use that as a benchmark to see how long it's going to take the students. Obviously, most of these assignments take me under 2 minutes. It's going to take them longer, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go home and I'm going to get here. I don't want to say early. I'm not going to get here early tomorrow. I'm going to get here at normal time tomorrow and work through what I can and just leave the rest for my conference. I almost forgot, for homecoming week, the dress up day today was Western, so we had to wear our boots. So there's the fit of the day. Good morning. Do I look sick? Because I feel sick. Today is Generations Day for homecoming, like dress up week. And 9th grade is supposed to dress like babies, sophomores, toddlers, juniors, I think, are just like adults, and then seniors are senior citizens. So my contribution is my little rubber ducky earrings. Okay, so it's 7:36. My plan for this morning, I did luckily get everything planned yesterday. I just need to make sure that my slides are ready to go for today. And I'm going to be making keys for all of the assignments that I prepped yesterday. So this packet right here. So my slides are more important. So I'm going to do my slides first and then come and make keys for all of this. Today has been very exciting. It's 3:30. It is my conference period. But today, for the first time in my 3 years teaching, I had a fight in my classroom. So that was really fun. It was so stupid, but it was serious. They were hitting each other, slamming each other into desks, throwing desks against the wall, body slamming each other. Like, it was intense. So I called for help and they took forever to come. So that happened. And of course, the excitement prevented that class from being able to continue. They were all just so amped up about the fight and laughing about it and whatever. That did drain me a little bit. I am tired. I don't even remember what I need to get done today. Oh, I need to grade. I need to grade and I need to finish making the keys for this week and my slides for the rest of the week. Okay. Actually, no. First, I should call parents because I can't call parents during tutorials because students are in here. So I'm going to call parents, and then if I have time, I'm going to do my slides and keys. yet again, I don't think I'm gonna have time to show you guys my classroom today, the things that I changed. Maybe tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow. Happy Thursday. It's dressed like a student day, so I have my hoodie and my sweatpants. I wanted to wear Crocs, but I don't have any Crocs, so I think one of my coworkers said that she had an extra pair of Crocs that she could bring me, so maybe I'll change, but this is good enough. So, happy Thursday. I wish y'all could like actually see how chaotic my space is. Like there's just stuff everywhere. And I really wish I was type A, but I am about some things. Like I am very organized in some things, but then in other ways I'm just like, and I think that's the ADHD in me that I just cannot get fully organized. Today, this morning, I really want to grade the tests that I took on Friday because I would like to have them in the grade book by like tomorrow, because next week will be the 6 weeks report, like progress report. So I want to give them as much time as possible to do makeups for the test, because I know the coaches are like really getting on the athletes because 6 weeks is when UIL does a grade check. So anyone that's failing at the 6 weeks mark doesn't get to play. So the coaches have been sending them to tutorials as often as they possibly can, which is good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna grade these tests. We're grading them a weird way. Okay, so we had 2 versions of the test to like hopefully dissuade cheating. So basically, there are 12 questions and a bonus. The way that we're grading them is like the first 2 questions can get a total of 4 points together. So it's like 4 points if both of them are correct, 3 points if one of them is correct and the other one is like at least on the right track, but maybe they made a mistake. 2 points if both of them are started or something, and then 1 point if both of them are wrong but there's effort, and 0 points if it's blank, something like that. And then we have like a scale that we use where like 28 points is 100 because there's a bonus, and then 32 points is I guess like 104, I don't know, 105. So I'm gonna just try and get them graded as quickly as possible, which hopefully it won't be too hard because so many of them left their test blank. High school. Another crazy day, but it's over. It's 5 o'clock. I had to stay late today because I had to grade those tests. I only got through like 2 tests this morning, and then I had students come in for tutorials. And then after school, not after school, but during my conference, I had an ARD meeting that I had to go to, which is like a SPED thing. And then I graded the rest of my tests, and then students came in for tutorials after school. So I could only start putting grades in at like 4:40, I want to say. And I think I mentioned how weird our grading system is. There's 6 questions and a bonus. Well, 12 questions and a bonus, but we graded each set of questions, so like there were pairs. We graded those together, kind of. Basically, you could get up to 24 points, 26 points. And for example, if you only got 3 points, it was a 32. If you got 11 points, it was like a 57. And then if you got 20 points, I think it was an 88. Basically it actually is a very fair curve. in my opinion, I'm really happy with it. It was just a lot of work to remember how to grade that way, and then I had to look up the scale document and look it up, and so it just was a few extra steps than what I'm used to, but I am, I believe, done for the day. Leaving my room in a mess yet again, but it's okay because I gotta draw the line somewhere, you know, and I'm drawing it at 5. Good morning. Happy Friday. Wow, I am so discombobulated today. Oh, okay. I have a lot to do today and not a lot of time to do it. I got here late at 7:45. I'm just going to go ahead and say I've failed for the week, so I'm just going to stay till 5 today, but I think I am going to cancel tutorials for after school because I just have to get stuff done, and there's things that I can't get done while the students are in here. And then I realized next week I'm going to have morning duty, so I'm not going to have morning tutorials at all next week. And I'm debating canceling tutorials all week next week except for Wednesday, which is my designated tutorials day, because I'm just not getting things done the way I want to, and it's causing a little bit of not anxiety, but just like I just feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to be everything, and that's just not possible. So I fear I have bit off more than I can chew this year, and I spread myself very, very thin between starting in a new school and moving and having tutorials open 24/7 and just like all this other stuff. Like I just feel like I'm trying to do too much right now. So I think I'm going to just like chill a little bit and regroup. So I don't know what that's going to look like. And I don't want to say exactly what it's going to look like because I don't know. So we're just going to take it day by day and figure out what works for me. Because, I mean, we're going into week 6 next week. And I've always said the first 6 weeks are brutal for teachers. And this year has been, luckily, very nice for me. Like, it's been a very easy start energy-wise. I have been very, very supported by my team and my admin and everything like that, but I feel it coming, the possibility of burnout. And I want to avoid that at all costs, teachers, you know. So, well, just anyone. You don't even have to be a teacher. Burnout sucks. So I am just going to prioritize myself and really get my priorities straight when it comes to all of my to-do list for work, because everything is important, which means nothing is important. I just need to figure out where I need to be spending the most time and what needs the most attention from me, and do those things first. Which y'all are probably like, Holly, why haven't you been doing that? Listen, I've been trying to do it all, and that's the problem, okay? Okay. So, also, if you're a fan of 21 Pilots, they dropped Breach today. I only got to listen to the first half on the way over, but I'm already in tears. So, I freaking love this album and this band, and I'm so devastated that I'm not getting to go to their concert. Anyway, moving on. It's the end of the day, 3:05. And I realize I'm not going to get all of my conference today because there's a pep rally at 3:30 that we have to go to. I don't even get to go to the pep rally. I have to go to the cafeteria and monitor all of the kids that don't want to go to the cafeteria or don't want to go to the pep rally. So I lose half of my conference, which is awesome because I'm so on top of things. I don't even need my conference. But because of that, I am going to call parents right now. So you know how all week I've been saying, oh, I need to call parents, I need to do this, I need to call parents. I haven't been calling parents. I just lose track of time. So that is what I'm going to do now. I have 5 phone calls that I have to make, and then I would like to make a few others. We'll see what I actually get done in the next 24 minutes, but today was fine, actually. I The lesson that I taught today was just boring, unfortunately, and it was a very long lesson because it was word problems, and they hate word problems. So nothing super exciting happened today, and it was hard to get through the lesson. Like, the lesson took a long time, so that was annoying, but you gotta teach it sometime. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing next week, so I would like to plan that out today. But again, I can plan later, but I need to call parents now, so I'm gonna do that. Also, my coworker from my previous school reached out, and she had sent me a picture of the yearbook from last year, and I didn't know it, but apparently the students voted me best dressed. That's so sweet. Now I wish I would have gotten a yearbook. But I'm glad that she saw that, because I never would have known. Anyway, that just made me happy. I'm home. It's 5:48. I was successful in calling 4 parents before the pep rally, and then I had to go to the pep rally. Well, I had to go to the cafeteria and just monitor, make sure that kids were alive. Saw another fight, but this was like a screaming match. No one actually threw hands, so we're good there. But yeah, I said I hadn't planned it all for next week. I'm planned for next week. My coworker came. I keep calling her my coworker. Her name is Adriana, and I love her so much. So she came over to my room, and we planned next week together, because that's basically how it works. Like, yes, our team PLCs every day, and that's where we figure out, like, big picture what we're doing. Does anyone have any specific strategies for how to teach this? You know, things like that. But then when it comes to like the day-to-day like lesson planning, she and I do the exact same thing together, because our brains work the same way and we like to teach the same way. So everyone kind of does their own thing, but since she and I are so like aligned, we end up planning together, and it just works out great. So happy with that. I know I promised you guys a classroom tour, but I just didn't have it in me to do that. I'm so sorry. I remembered as I was walking out of my classroom, and it was like 5:30 at that point. So I'm sorry. Next week, come back. This is how I'm gonna get you to come back, you know, I guess. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this week. I don't even remember everything I did this week, so that's great, but I hope that you liked it. If you did, go ahead and like this video, comment down any of your thoughts, suggestions, encouragement, questions, you know the drill, and make sure that you subscribe so that I can see you in the next one. Mwah! Bye!